Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Audrey Bell Kearney, and I am the host of the Newsletter Launchpad. So excited to be here with you guys today. I am so excited about this channel and the things that I'm going to be doing here to help you, especially Gen Xers. I'm a Gen Xer. So especially Gen Xers help you launch your newsletter. I have been a media person for 25 years in media. I host the Good Morning Gwinnett podcast. I have the Good Morning Gwinnett news site. I have the Gwinnett Morning Spark newsletter. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys. And one of the reasons that I'm excited is because newsletters are making a resurgence. Like I started doing newsletter publishing probably around 1997-ish. So I'm kind of dating myself. Been doing newsletters since around 1997, and that's when they were just in paper. Like you had to print them out, go to the Office Depot or Staples or somewhere and print them out, and then pass them out or mail them out to your subscribers. But fast forward to where we are right now, newsletters are making a resurgence, and I'm happy to be on the other end of that. So I just wanted to talk about my newsletter. I also wanted to talk about why I decided to launch a newsletter. I also wanted to share with you why I decided to launch a hyper local newsletter. So again, my name is Audrey Bell Kearney. I am the publisher of the Gwinnett Morning Spark, which is a newsletter about Gwinnett County. And I try to make it just good news and good. I call it the Spark because it comes out every morning, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. And the reason I did that was because I wanted people to get a good spark to their day by providing them with some good information, some inspiration early in the morning. Like there's a quote early in the morning that they get in the newsletter. There's an inspirational song that I use AI to make. Then I talk about some news, and then I talk about, what's going on in the county and what's happening, some news. I shine a spotlight on community leaders and business owners. So that's the structure of my newsletter. And so I decided to do a hyper local newsletter because I was already doing a hyper local podcast called Good Morning Gwinnett. So I've been hosting Good Morning Gwinnett almost 6 years. I've done about 1,100 episodes of that show, and I have a full blown news site that covers all types of news. I wanted the newsletter to be something different, so I decided to launch my newsletter. One of the reasons I decided to launch it was because right now my news site, and not just mine, but a lot of people who have blogs and news sites, every time Google makes a change to the algorithm, it throws the site off. So if you spend a lot of time on your site doing SEO and all that stuff, you go in and you make all these changes, and they make a change and it just throws the entire thing off. So I'm saying to myself, this is driving me insane. I need to do something different. And then I started to look at newsletters, and I was like, newsletters are coming back, and they're coming back in a big way. I don't know if you guys ever heard of like the Morning Brew and the Hustle, but those newsletters sold for like millions of dollars. And so I'm not saying that, your newsletter will, but what I am saying is that you can be a voice in your community, just like I am. You can be a voice in your business, just like I am, whether it's your community, whether it's your business, whether you just have a hobby. I think a newsletter is a great way to go. And here's the other reason why that's such a good thing to do. Because when you think about, all of the platforms that we're on, all of the social media platforms, we're kind of at the mercy of those platforms. If they decide that they want to change something, take down something, block you, they can totally do that because they own the platform. When you start your own newsletter, you own that platform. You may not own the newsletter distribution platform, but you own the emails, you own your subscriber base, you own your list of people. And so that's powerful within itself. So I wanted to just come on and just share with you why I started, and then what am I doing. I'm happy about what I'm doing. Just like my podcast, just like my website, I wanted my newsletter to be the way I wanted it to be. So if you're thinking about starting a newsletter, think about what your newsletter is going to represent for you. For me, it represents my community where I live. I live in Gwinnett County, Georgia. It's the second largest county in the state of Georgia. It is the most diverse county in the whole southeast region. It is the 11th most diverse county in the United States. So, and we have over 1 million residents here in the county. So I cover the entire county. But here's the thing. I wanted to make sure that the newsletter provided inspiration. So you get this quote every morning. You also get this song that I put in there every morning. You also get, like an article about an inspirational article. And then I talk about some news around town. And then I talk about a success story. Our motto here in Gwinnett County is "Success Lives Here." So I do the whole motto, "Success Lives Here," and then from there I do like a fun fact, something that people don't know about Gwinnett County. Like this morning, I think in my issue this morning of Gwinnett Spark, I Sleepy Hollow, which a couple of episodes of Sleepy Hollow was shot downtown Lawrenceville, which is where I live. I live in Lawrenceville, and so they shot Sleepy Hollow there. And so I was like, oh, that's a fun fact. So, and I remember passing by the courthouse to go to dinner and them shooting that episode of Sleepy Hollow. So, I put little things in there like that because I want to make sure that, it's not, we have so much heavy news, like for real. We have so much heavy news, so I didn't want to create another publication with heavy news. Now, none of my publications have heavy news, not my podcast, not my news site. The problem is with those two media platforms. My podcast is, I don't own the names, right? I know people listen to the show all over the world, but I can't tell you who they are because I can't get the emails. I don't own that data. That data is owned by the podcast platform where I host, so I don't own that. With my website, same thing. I'm driving traffic, but whenever Google decides it wants to change the algorithm, traffic goes away, and I'm just tired of fighting that fight right now. I'll probably get back in the game at some point, but right now I'm focused on building this newsletter. So if you're thinking about starting a newsletter, the first thing I want to tell you is to think about what type of newsletter. Think about what your newsletter will stand for. Think about who you're going to talk to in your newsletter. For me, it's people who want to be inspired, whether you live in Gwinnett County or not. If you want to learn about Gwinnett County, you'll learn something. But if you want to just start your day with inspiration, anybody can subscribe to the newsletter. That's why I put the first quote at the top, the inspirational quote, and then I put the song next. Because if you decide, I just want to hear the song, Audrey, I just need to get the inspiration for the day. I don't really care about Gwinnett, but I want to be inspired right out the gate. So I put those three things, the inspirational three topics, things right at the top of the newsletter. That's just how I decided to do it. And then all the news stuff follows that. So, and at the bottom of my newsletter, it has all of the events that's going on every day. Now, you want to think about how often you want to publish. I publish 5 days a week. That's crazy. And it's work. I'm not gonna say it's not work, but I know that this is a part of my business, and in order for me to hit the revenue bottom lines that I want to hit, I need it to be a little bit more frequent. So I publish Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. in the morning. Now, I'm not telling anybody to do that. So you need to know how much money you want to make from your newsletter. You also want to know, how often you can actually commit to doing it. For me, because it is a digital media platform, I can do this from anywhere in the world at any time. So it makes sense for me. Now, you have to look at what you're doing. If your newsletter is very heavy on research, and doing a daily newsletter may not be a good thing for you if you don't have a team helping you. I'm a solopreneur, so I have to make sure that I can do this. And if I need to hand it off to someone, it needs to be a simpler enough standard operating procedures for people to just pick it up and take it and follow it. So you got to think about those things. If I get sick, can my business partner come in here and take over? Can my daughter come in here and take over? Yes, because I have a very simple model and a very simple format. So they read the newsletter every morning. My husband and my daughter definitely read it every morning. And so they can actually pick up where I left off. So think about how often what you want to talk about, how often you want to talk about it, who are you talking to when you do that. That's important too. I know for me, it's my community, and it's anybody who wants to be inspired. Anybody, because the first three things that happens in the newsletter is inspirational quote, inspirational song, inspirational a message. That's how I started. So if the person stopped right there and that's all they cared about was just the inspiration for the day, there you have it. If they chose to keep reading and see what's happening in Gwinnett County, then they can do that as well. So that was my plan. So you got to figure out what you want to do with your newsletter. Now, if you know, and I'm saying this is very important. If you know that life gets in the way of most of the things that you want to do not try to do a 5 days a week newsletter. See, I'm already podcasting 4 days a week. Monday through Thursday, I do a live podcast. Right. So I'm already used to doing something on a daily basis. Monday through Friday, the newsletter comes out. Now, Fridays, I'm still kind of off on Fridays because I do the newsletter Sunday, Monday. I do Sunday for Monday, Monday for Tuesday, Tuesday for Wednesday, Wednesday for Thursday, and Thursday for Friday. Fridays are normally my day to kind of just relax. So, but I set my life up that way. I want to build my life around my business, not my business. I want to build my business around my life, not my life around my business. So you got to think about that. Think about how often. Think about right now. I'm going to tell you to start thinking right now about monetizing. In my newsletter, right this minute, I already have monetization built in. I'm sure at some point when I get to the numbers that I want to hit, and I'll tell you my plans for that in a second, those numbers for advertising in my newsletter, they're going to increase. I already know that. But I started out the gate saying, okay, if I want to make money with this newsletter, I have to include a way for people to pay me in the newsletter. That's important. And when I do my podcast, it has been, you got to go out, you got to find the people. It has been a lot of work. And then with my new site, you got to get so many visits to your sites before media buying or one of the other ones can come on your site and start, helping you monetize. With the newsletter, I built it right in. It's built right into the platform. And now, I may not get an ad, but people know there's advertising opportunities. I can tell you, as I grow the newsletter, those prices will increase. They're very low right now for the amount of content that I put out. I put out a newsletter 5 days a week. And so right now I've set my price point to like $2.99 a month, and you get to be in every issue, which is 20 issues right now. So I know that's going to change. So think about, what your monetization strategy is. I'm also looking to, at some point, um incorporate subscriptions. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing with the subscriptions. I just know that that's something that I want to incorporate because that's just another stream of income. I've included a $3 a month just thank you beneficial kind of thing. I have a link on the website, which is Gwinnett Morning Spark, where they can buy an inspirational kit that comes directly from Amazon. That's built right in. So all of these things I have already built in. So you have to think about that. Now, I hope that this is like a good starting point for you. I'm going to be on this channel every Friday talking about this newsletter, talking about newsletter strategies and what I'm doing, what you guys can do to help you grow your newsletter, because I feel like it's a good time for us to be in this space. It's almost like starting over. I had Constant Contact way back when, before Constant Contact was as big as it is. I think I might have been one of the first people on Constant Contact. I had a YouTube channel. YouTube launched in 2005. I had a YouTube channel in 2006, not understanding what that could have been. And if I had just stayed the course, I would have had a huge channel. I had a show that was produced by a TV producer. It was called Sister Inc. He would come out, he would shoot everything, he would edit everything and give me the material, and I would put it up on YouTube. Had I known then what I know now, things would have been different. Way different. I would not just now be trying to figure out how to grow a YouTube channel, because my channel would be probably huge by now. But here's the thing. I know better now. So when you know better, you do better. Now, if you are a Gen Xer and you're trying to figure out what's your next move, I'm a Gen Xer, right? I'm trying to level out my life so I can have more time to spend with my daughter, my granddaughter, my husband. I work a lot. I'm the president of a chamber. I'm the president of the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce. So I work a lot. I'm trying to dial it down some, but I want to have fun doing something, and I like doing newsletters. I like making a song. So you have to, if you're a Gen Xer and you're trying to figure out, okay, what is it that I want to do with my life when I grow up? I'm about to retire from this job, but I want to keep doing something. I like to write. I like to do crafts. I like mysteries. Whatever it is. One of my friends said she's starting a newsletter just about romantic movies. That's her newsletter. And I was like, go for it. I love romantic movies. I'm a Hallmark lover. On Sundays, I like watching Hallmark. So for her to decide that she wants to do something in that space, that's amazing. Pick something. Pick something, but here's the thing, pick something that you can monetize. Now, I've been doing a lot of research, and one of the things I've heard people say was, look, B2B newsletters make the most money. All right. My newsletter can definitely be B2B, could be B2C, because it's inspirational, then it has music in it, then it has it's inspirational, it has music, but it also has business. So I'm trying to make sure that I can make it where, the advertisers in the business world, they want to come over and, be an advertiser. You have to think about, if you're doing this to make income, you have to think about, who would want to pay me to have access to my audience. What are you talking about? If you are a knitter, if you have a knitting club, knitting, like with the knitting needles, a knitting company may want to pay you for that. A spot in your newsletter. If you play sports, a sneaker company may want to pay you to have an ad in your newsletter. If you are a business coach, a business software company may want to pay you to have an ad in your newsletter. Think about who can pay you if your intention is to have a stream of revenue coming in from your newsletter. You have to think about that. See, I knew right out the gate. That's why I told you I built in my monetization. I knew that I was gonna focus on people who want to be inspired. So if someone has like an inspirational podcast or inspirational newsletter or inspirational t-shirt line or whatever that is, that's the person that may want to advertise in my newsletter. Why? Because inspiration is at the top of my newsletter. Then business follow. So business follow, like I have an article in there every month, every day about marketing your business and growing your business. That's every day. And then I have a business success story or a community success story. So someone who's trying to reach those people, they may want to advertise. So you have to think about that, right? So think about that. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing right now. So right now, I have 400 subscribers to my newsletter, which is not bad, but it's not where I want it to be. My goal over the next 90 days is to bring that up to 15,000 subscribers. So I'm putting myself on a 90-day challenge to get 15,000 subscribers to my newsletter. If you're listening and you want to do the same and join me, it's free. I'm not charging anything. It's just free. I'm doing this for myself because in 90 days, I'm going to have 15,000 subscribers to that newsletter. So I'm going to come back every Friday. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. My next issue is probably going to be live. My next video podcast is probably going to be live because I like doing live. This is recorded right now because I'm not set up. I'm not approved to go live from this channel just yet on YouTube. But next Friday, I will probably be live. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you hit me up. You can find me when I go live. I have set myself on a 90-day challenge. My 90-day challenge is for me to get 15,000 subscribers to my newsletter over the next 90 days. So I have all these things that I'm going to be doing. Some of them sound really crazy, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because the goal is to hit the goal of 15,000 subscribers and then to keep growing from there. And every month, every 90 days after that, my goal is to triple or double that number. So right now, my goal is 15,000. So if I hit 15,000, I should be at 15,403 because right now I have 403 subscribers. So I'm not like taking 1,400 and whatever. It's 15,000. So if you want to join me on this challenge, it is free. Also, I have a Facebook community. It's free. If you're not doing newsletters, do not join the community. Do not go over there trying to spam the people. I'm going to kick you out. Go there if you want to become a part of this community because you are trying to launch a newsletter. It's called the Newsletter Boss. Newsletterboss.club. 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 Just type that in. It's real simple. Newsletterboss.club. And then that way you can become a part of the community and you'll get all the stuff that I got going on. You can post your stuff about your newsletter. We can follow each other in that group, but do not post crap over there. I'm going to kick you out. Okay. So please respect the rules, y'all. I'll be back again next Friday with another episode talking about newsletters. Think about what you want to do with your newsletter. I host my newsletter on Beehiiv. There's a link in the description to Beehiiv if you're looking. I like Beehiiv. I can tell you this. I started my newsletter about 4 weeks ago, and I've already made $7.40 from Beehiiv. Now, I know that somebody that's not a lot of money, but here's the thing. And that's with 403 subscribers. Can you imagine what that number is going to look like when I can get to, because Beehiiv has this thing called Boost, and it has an ad network built into the platform, which is amazing. So I went on there and I said, hey, I want to promote your newsletter when I do my newsletter. Well, I did, and some people from my newsletter subscribed to some other newsletters, and I got paid. $7.40 is not a lot to write home about. However, when I think about the possibilities of me driving 15,000 people and getting them to subscribe to my newsletter, and then some of the 15,000 is going to subscribe to other people's newsletters, and then they're going to pay me, oh, I get excited about that. I get totally excited about that. So $7.40 is not a lot, but here's the thing. It is proof that the Beehiiv network boost system and ad network works. So if you don't have a platform yet, check out Beehiiv. There's a link in the description. Yes, I'm an affiliate with Beehiiv, but I like Beehiiv because I like the platform. I like the way my newsletter look, and I'm already making money from Beehiiv, not even my stuff, from Beehiiv and its network of newsletters. So check out the description, click on the Beehiiv link, get your newsletter up and going on Beehiiv. And I actually just did a whole training on Beehiiv last Sunday for free, because I want people to understand, like, this is a great place for us to be right now. If you're thinking about starting a newsletter, you want some free time, you want a business that you can take anywhere. If you have a travel blog, start a travel newsletter. Why not? It's amazing. If you love to travel, just start a newsletter. And here's the thing, you can do the newsletter from whatever location you are next. If you're in network marketing and you're building a team, start a newsletter. Empower your team. It's for anybody. You just got to want to do it. That's like anything, though. Hey, listen, I'll be back again next time. Thank you guys for listening. You have a wonderful day. And listen, be sure to subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Subscribe to the show so you know when I go live next week. Subscribe to the show so you get all the tips, and you can follow me and you can join me on the 90-day challenge to grow your newsletter. All right. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, my friends. Until next time, make it a great day. Bye, everybody.